This is yours, isn't it? Oh, this is mine.
Right
This is,
here.
there's that stuff from Thursday again. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Whew, we made it. Fast. It just was going, go live, go live, go live. And then I figured out what we had to do. So we are here. Can you tell us who's here? I see Marie is there, and I saw before that. Hi, Angela. I saw Karen and Lisa were there.
We have 7 watching.
Mm-hmm.
6. Oh, 7 must be me.
Yeah, 7 must be. On mine it says 6. And if you go where it says top chat and click go live, oh, mine won't do it, but yours will.
Yeah.
As long as it's live chat, you see everything. They don't filter things out then.
Yeah.
Sorry, we had some people in the store right up to just after 5 o'clock, so that's why we're a little bit late.
You try to hint to them, but you don't want to push them out the door.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, don't let the door hit you on the way out. We don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I hope everyone's doing well and you're excited for the class tonight.
Mhm.
I am.
Me too.
So before we get started, what I will do is just open the circle so that we're all protected. Hi, Diane. Nice to see you. So we'll just open the circle. There. That gives us a protection of light around all of us while we have a nice little class. Now, crystal wands. First off, I'd like to ask the question, has anybody worked with wands before? And you can just, type in your answer and we'll see it. Cheryl will see it too. So
yeah.
There.
We know you have regrets.
Hi, Carol. So Diane Goldade has. I just asked Carol if anybody has worked with wands before in any way, shape, or form, whether just holding it or energetically or anything like that. And of course, we've got these, right? I think just what everybody bought these. Okay. And that is a wand, a type of wand. Okay, so Angela hasn't. That's Lisa's sister, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Angela hasn't. Before we get started, and I'll maybe say it at the end, is just before the class started, I got all this stuff organized and it's online now. Have a few, but not really worked with. Okay. For the next 3 classes. And they're going to be a little different. The first one is called The Key to Transforming Energy. And there is a specific tool. It's not here yet, but it's on its way. Oh, maybe it's in one of those boxes. That'd be all right. But it is on its way. So it's a unique tool. And I'm thinking of seeing if our guy can get them made also. For the store. So that's for July. So August, the class is Crystals and Alchemy. And we're just waiting for one little tool to go in the toolkit for that one. And that's why I put it to August. So I'm hoping it'll be here by then. And if it isn't, when it comes in, we will make sure that you get it. And then September is included quartz. October, November, and December are not on there yet, but October is going to be crystals and goddesses. And I think we might do specific goddesses and put the crystals energetically with them. What was November?
Go get my slip of paper.
Oh,
What's
no, December. I'm thinking of doing a manifestation class. So I think that one would be December. That might be a good time to do it because you could get all ready for the new year.
Metatron's cute.
Oh, right. And if we can get this tool cut for November, Metatron's Cube, that's what it's going to be on, Metatron's Cube. And that's a really interesting class.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a really nice little one made out of scolecite. So I am, I've already asked to see if it can get made. I just have to get back to him and see if he has asked his people or not. Because these we had made for us, all of the extractor wands that you guys bought. And, I wonder if that other wand is there. We actually have a special wand coming, and it's only going to be offered to you guys.
Yes.
Unless there's any left over, but there may not be. So
you guys get first dibs.
You guys get first on those. And I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's going to be a surprise. All I'm going to say, it's in the sacred geometry area. So,
okay.
Anyways, on with today's class. So I just wanted to let you know that we had been diligently working, coming up with the tools in the class and all of that kind of stuff for the next 3 at least. So that should be fun. Now, crystal wands. And I probably shouldn't have said crystal wands, but actually all of them are crystals.
They all have crystals?
They all have crystals. So wands are traditional healing tools, and they've been used by healers and shamans for, centuries throughout the world, various cultures, countries, for hundreds and thousands of years. So it is something that is a very old tool. Now, originally, they were natural occurring long straight pieces, something like this. And by just letting you know that all the things that you're seeing tonight are my own tools.
We don't have a problem.
Some of them I made. But this is like a long, slender wand right there. And then this one is in quartz, but I've got another one. I think we've actually got a couple of them still in the store. These are kunzite right there. That's a natural occurring wand of kunzite. And we only got them in once, and I think we still have 2.
I think we do, but where are they?
I don't know. But I think we have 2. So they can be small like that.
Yep,
they can be larger. They can be, again, there's another one right there. And then I've got this one. This one is Zomba Mimosa, which is a smoky quartz, and that's a long, slender little wand. It's like a little fairy wand. Woo! That you can use. These little wands like this are great for traveling because they're nice and small, and you can just tuck them into a little pouch or something like that and take them with you, rather than something this size or this size or something like that. So these would be great for traveling or something like that, or little hands if you're teaching little kids or something. They're great for that as well. So normally or traditionally, that's what they were, because back when everybody used things, they weren't really cut into tools. They used to cut crystals into things like goblets, and they used it for furniture and crushed it up to use it for makeup, and stuff like that. But for healing, they used natural wands. And they've been used for different ailments as well. So not anything specific, but you might find, and we have found since then, that certain wands or certain crystals are good for certain ailments. Mm-hmm. So you could use a wand for that ailment. And of course, kunzite is divine love. So it's a lot about the heart, but it's about bringing divine love into the body and into the heart as well. So if somebody is A, feeling lonely, B, feeling maybe they just got jilted. That's an old word, right? Jilted. That something like that would help with emotional healing too. And of course, as we all know, if you don't have it and you wanted to use a certain wand for it, you can always use quartz for anything. Now, lots of wands now are cut and fashioned, and they're polished, and they work just as well. Such as Vogels, right? Those are cut and polished, and they are cut at real Vogels are cut at specific angles. Here and here, they're cut at specific angles, and I think Marcel Vogel was like way ahead of his time at the time, and I think a lot of people didn't really understand them. But since people have been working more and more with them, and other people have taken up his work, they're a little more used as well. And we have, if you remember, we have, when we did these, the first class with these on extracting energy with them, we did, one of the things that you could use to open a portal was a Vogel wand, but you could use also a double terminated wand as well.
I was going to say, watch that tip.
Watch that tip. Now they are powerful. And I also wanted to say, because I think Angela is new here, is please ask questions. If you have any questions or anything to say, or even any comments or anything that you come across yourself that with using it, please share. We would love that. That's how we all learn as well. And if you think, oh, it's kind of a stupid question, it's not. No questions are stupid. And you can bet that somebody else was thinking of it too. So you might just be the brave one to say it. That's all. Now, crystal wands are really powerful healing tools for anyone to use. Lots of healers use wands, but you don't have to be a healer to use a crystal wand, because you can use it on yourself. You can use it on somebody else. You can use it in a body layout, even on yourself. You can use it in, if you were doing distance healing for someone, they gave their permission for you to do that. You could use it in that. Directing energy, all of that kind of stuff. So it's really a versatile tool. And they're made from most kinds of stones these days, most of them. Angela, the class I did on the energy extraction, we learned how to do portals in that one. So you learned how to use this, and then you used a double terminated wand, or if you had a Vogel, you could use that. What you would do is we learned how to use this to open the portal and then extract and put that energy into the portal and then close it again. So yes, I did do a little class on, and that was part of it.
Yeah, and past classes are available for purchase.
They are. Yes, and we do have more of these as well. If anybody's, and pretty much everybody got them except for Karen, maybe. But Angela wasn't here at that time.
No.
So.
And Angela, I'm going in under Linda. That's
yes. I'm Linda, and that's Cheryl.
And I'm Linda.
Linda 1 and Linda 2. So as I said, you don't have to be a healer to use a wand at all in any way, shape, or form. Now, a crystal wand is usually something that's long and straight, natural or cut. A piece of stone or crystal that can have terminated points at one or both ends. Let me just get you one so I can show you what I'm talking about. Here's one. This is black tourmaline. We've got terminated points at that end and that end. And your own wand, the tool that you bought for this class, is a double terminated. It's at both ends right there. So that's called a double terminated wand. And it can have, or it can be a single terminated wand. And I know some of you bought the Prenite ones. So it has one point and then a rounded point. They both have different purposes, and we're going to get into that as well. They come in varying widths and lengths and types of crystals, and with different reasons for choosing each type. There are wands on the market now that have been embellished. I'll just show you one of them. This is a selenite wand, and you can see it's got copper wire around it, and then it's got some crystals put on it, like that. So, so they've been embellished with other crystals and other things, and I'll show you some other things after. So the reason for using a crystal wand is the way it channels energy to the location you wish it to go. So this is really, really important, and it can aid in the healing of a specific health problem by doing that. So this is one of the big perks, or it's, oh, hi, Diane. Hi, we just started. This is one of the big reasons for using wands, is that you're channeling the energy of that wand with the intention of what you want or what the person wants to the specific area that you want to work with. Okay. So all varieties or types of stone wands are chosen for specific benefits that relate to the stone or the crystal that they're made from. And their combined shape also makes a difference. Now, some healers use quartz specifically for healing and for other types of massage and that sort of thing. But quartz is very powerful and for healing. And like I said at the beginning, if you don't have that wand, you can use quartz. But other types can be used as well. And like I said, a lot of healers might use just quartz, but there's lots of different types of wands that you can use. It depends on what feels right to you. Now, wands, I put a whole list here of what wands can be used for. Healing, massage, reflexology, acupuncture, not acupuncture, acupressure, tracing meridian lines. There's a really good book for that, actually. Spiritual or psychic energy, surgery, not energy, surgery, chakra clearing and balancing, scanning the body, clearing blocks, extracting negative energy, infusing light into the body, cleansing the aura, crystal healing and laying on of stones, cutting ties and cords, crystal grids, stress relief. So, and will not be limited to just that list. I'm sure there's lots of other things there too. Now, the natural healing qualities and properties of crystals are imparted when used on or near your body, which is why we do that, right? You'll want to use specific wands for certain treatments. So the crystal energy itself becomes part of the healing process. If you don't have a specific wand, again, use quartz, because it can be programmed like another crystal. All you have to do is use it with that intention. And quartz is programmable. It's magnifying and amplifying. Excuse me. So it is a really, there's my, it's a really important one, crystal to have in your crystal toolkit. Always a good one to have is quartz. And if ever there was ever anybody anywhere that would say, I only need one crystal, it should be quartz, because then you have everything, really. Or you can have everything. Now, like I said, there's many types of wands. Some are natural, meaning they're in their natural state, like I said, with this kunzite. Or some have been cut and polished, like the prehnite, cut and polished. Some have single termination, some have double termination, some have rounded at one end, terminated at the other, some have rounded at both ends. Some are shaped like the Vogels, where it's slimmer at one end, this is the male end, fatter at the other, and that's the female end. Some are twisted, like we've got this selenite aura wand, it's twisted like that. Some have other crystals included. I showed you that one, like that. They might have chakras on them. Oh, and they also have ones like this. This is, there's an extractor tool, and I think some of you also have the tool from that, where it was it was a single terminated, and they've added all these, cut in all these little chakra crystals right there. So that's another type of wand. And some have been created like an art piece. So some are wood with crystals attached. So this is, I'm just going to show you a very simple one. It's a copper pipe. It's got quartz point at one end, a sphere at the other, and then it's just got a little piece of garnet on both ends. That's just a small one that's been fashioned. This is another one right here with different crystals on it. Right there. Onto the brass. And it's actually got an alchemy symbol right here on it. But I want to show you my smallest wand. Right there. It's jade. Isn't that cute? That really is a fairy wand.
It really is a fairy wand.
So I'm going to go through all of these tonight for you and talk about what their purpose is. Did she not get her?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what she did. And then she said only one, so I don't know if she only got one page or.
Yeah, it should have been attached. It was a Word file. And if you print it out, all the notes should be there. There should be 1, 2, 4, 6 pages, 5.5 pages. But it was attached as an attachment to the file, Angela.
She's got
it.
Good.
Perfect. So we're going to go through them all now. We're going to start with single and double terminated wands. So again, they can be natural or polished, cut and polished. A natural wand, which I showed at the beginning, it can be quartz or smoky quartz or something like that, or like the kunzite right there. Those are different types of wands that are natural, meaning they're naturally occurring. This is how they grew. This was not made. It was made by Mother Nature. That's what it was. All of these ones.
They sing.
They sing.
They like each other.
They do. So basically, it's not been altered in any way. And so that's what you would call a natural wand. It's normally long, but it doesn't have to be. I really like this one because it is nice and long and slender. It's easy to use. It's, it's like a little magical wand. It's like a Harry Potter wand in the crystal world. So it has we're going to talk about single terminated first, meaning it has a terminated point at one end only. So the terminated point means that it's the pointy, natural pointy end with the facets around it. That is called a termination. So this is where the whole wand terminates right there. And the energy in a single terminated wand goes towards the terminated point. So it just goes out. This is for using energy to go out. So you want to, if you wanted to use it in the body or somewhere, it goes into the body like that. So because it only goes in one direction. Now they can be fairly straight. Sometimes they're tapered, with one end being wider than the other. So those are called laser wands, and we'll go over laser wands soon. This is a nice big laser wand. This one's from Mongolia, right there. But you can see it's fatter at the bottom, skinnier at the top. Now, terminated wands can be used for acupressure and reflexology. Quartz wands can be used for doing meridian work. And that means that you would take a quartz wand, and if you know where the meridians are, and like I said, there's actually a really good book for that. It's called Quartz Therapy. Quartz Therapy. And it has different pictures in there of different meridian lines. And you can take, and the flow that they go in, and you take your quartz, wand, and you follow that meridian through your body. And it is drawing that energy through. And because, maybe the energy is stuck or something like that. So you want to draw that energy through the body. So that's how you use it for meridian work. And I don't think we have any of those books in stock at the moment.
We would have to order them if someone's interested.
Yeah, because it's a really good book. If you're, especially if you're wanting to learn about the meridians, if you're wanting to learn about how to work with that, or just interested, right? It's a really good book. Now, cut and polished single terminated wands. We have that one. This one has the 6 sides. Yeah. So quartz always grows 6-sided. If it's more than that, it's usually been cut. Then I've got this little Lemurian jade one where it's all round. It's got a single terminated point and a rounded one at this end, like that. Or you can get them like that as well. This is a moonstone right there. This one is actually citrine, and the whole thing has been polished, even the point, but it has one terminated end like that. But they come in almost every crystal. Like I said, we've got black tourmaline. Here's a tabby quartz right there. I've had this for so long, and I've never even taken off the glue from the tag when I bought it. It's probably about 20 years ago. Isn't that terrible? Which I need to do. Or they can look like that. These are the diamond extractor needles as well. So those are with terminated points on them. Now a single terminated pointed wand is about focus, and it's about clarity because it goes only in that one direction. So we're just focusing it in that one direction. It is used to direct and to gather the energy as well. So it directs the energy towards the terminated point, like I said, this way, and then out. So double terminated wands, use your class wand right here. The energy goes here and it goes here. So it's going out and back in, and out and back in on both ends. So it pushes it out here and it pushes it out here, but it draws it in and it draws it in. So that's how a double terminated point works. It's sending and receiving energy at the same time. So it's like a stone of balance. It's not just doing one thing. it's doing both, making a balanced wand and balanced energy. So to use a single terminated wand, you can point it at the area of the body, or the area that you want to work with, to send the energy into the body. So you would, if you say you wanted to do it with the throat, you would just point it. Ooh, I can feel it. Point it here. If you are wanting energy to be drawn away from there, so say it's a block and you want that block to be extracted, you put the non-terminated end towards your body, and it will draw it through here. And you can actually even go like this and gather that energy, and it goes out. So make sure you don't point it at somebody so they don't get all of your...
Pick it up.
Yeah. So it picks it up and goes out the terminated point. So we don't want it to, well, unless you really didn't like the person, but I still wouldn't recommend it.
Well, some things aren't meant to be shared.
That's right. Now, you can use wands in energy layouts, like body layouts. If you were to use a single terminated wand, you would want to place it at that point in the body. Maybe your energy only comes up so high. You want to be able to place it there so that it brings the energy up higher all the way through. A double terminated wand will make the energy go in both directions. So it will pull the energy up, and then it's going to bring energy down into the body as well. So that's the difference between the two if you're going to be using it for like laying on a stones or crystal healing. And it can be placed anywhere on your chakra column to bring that energy up or down as well. A double terminated wand actually has more capacity to enhance energy because of the send and receive. If you're working on a client or just working on yourself, and you're introducing a crystal to be used in your energy or the person's energy, what you want to do is, it's good to have a double terminated one, but you don't have to, but the double terminated is really good to do. Say we wanted to do this, work with this Amazonite diamond extractor. You hold the wand a few inches above the body and above the head, and you run it all the way down to the feet, down to the center of the body to the feet, and you release the flow of energy. Then you run it back up the body to the head to strengthen the energy. So down is releasing, bringing up is strengthening the energy. Like that. And the Vogel, I'll just talk about the Vogel for a minute. I think most of you've got Vogels, but anyway, they are cut and polished with many sides. They can be 4, 6, 8, 12, 24, lots of different. The more sides, the more powerful the energy is coming out of a wand like that. Yeah, 4, 6, 12, 24, 32.
Angela still has a question.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Can you pair the double terminated wand with a crystal at one end to bring in that crystal energy?
Not sure how you'd attach the crystal. I'd rather put the crystal on the person's body.
Yeah, I think, can you pair the double terminated wand with a crystal at one end to bring in that? Well, if you were doing something, because this is pushing the energy out, right? This is how a crystal grid works. You put a crystal in front of it, it's pushing this energy into that crystal and pushing that crystal's energy out. Which is a little bit different than you're doing when you are laying on stones. It might get a little tricky, but if you were doing laying on of stones, you only had a single terminated, and you wanted to work with both of those crystals, then you could say somebody was having a problem with their throat chakra. You could lay this right here and put another crystal right there and enhance the energy going in. You could do something like that.
She's talking about a double terminated, though.
Yeah.
So, oh, okay. Because I was going to say with a double terminated, you could lay it on as with stones and have a stone at the bottom and a stone at the top.
Yeah, you could do that on either end if you wanted, but do it with quartz.
Yeah.
You'd have to do it with quartz.
Yeah.
That kind of a thing you would have to do with quartz, not one of the other ones, because it's not going to push the energy like quartz will. But you could take 2 single terminated and do this and put a crystal at either end as well. This one's going to push that out. That one's going to push that out, but it's not going to act like a double terminated. Only a double terminated will act as a double terminated. If that makes any sense.
I hope that helps.
And if it doesn't, keep asking questions. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, with a Vogel, the way the energy works in a wand is it spirals. So if you remember in the sphere class when we talked about the tube torus and it spirals, well, this is not a tube torus, but the energy spirals like this around in there. And every time it hits a side, it increases it in energy. So that's why, that's another reason why Vogels can be cut in many, many different sides, is because the energy coming out then is very powerful. And how these work, so like I said before, they're tapered, right? Small end, larger end. And the larger end is the female end. This is the end that you put against the body. It draws the energy out, and the male end sends it away.
It's a shooter.
It's a shooter. Cooters and shooters. Takes energy in, pushes energy out. And they work nicely together that way, right? It's a really nice wand to work with like that. Now a true Vogel, like I said, will have its ends cut at specific angles. But a lot of people are looking at anything that looks like that as a Vogel, because it will act in a very similar way, or the very same way, really, as a Vogel will, because that's the intention of it, because we've cut it as the female and the male end. Usually the male end is a little more extruded out there, like the shooter.
Okay. Sorry, adolescent mind tonight.
Well, we have to have some fun too, right? Have some fun too.
Yeah.
So again, the female end is always pointed towards the body, because otherwise, if you do it this way, whatever this is pulling in is pushing into you.
Yeah. So you want to be careful what you push into yourself.
Yes. Oh, thanks, Marie. You know, when all these restrictions are over, let's have a crystal goddess night and drink some wine.
Yeah.
And have some fun.
Have some fun.
Yes. So now, Vogels, as I said, and we learned that in the extraction class, is opens and closes portals. I'm not going to do it tonight, but there is a whole process for doing that. But it's something that you don't want to mess around with. But what you want to do with a portal like that is you are taking that energy that you're extracting and pushing it into that portal to be healed. And you want to make sure when you open it that you do close it, because you don't want something else coming through from the other side. Yes, definitely, Diane, for sure. And you don't want to open a portal for very long either. So that's why it's important to learn how to do it. But it's not really our purpose on the class tonight. So there have been, I've heard of people opening a portal and then forgetting to close it. And they've then, they're not in that space anymore, but you can do it intentionally and close it if you had forgotten to do that too. Now, wands or even points with very pointy ends. So we learned about those. That's what this is and this is. These are the ones that you use for gathering your energy, getting your body ready to release energy. The extraction tools. And they sound weird. I think it was Karen Gibbons or something when we talked about it first. Said, it sounds really awful. It does extract. I'm going to extract you. It sounds like, military.
Yeah.
We're going to extract that person out of there. Anyways, it's stimulating the meridians and energy in the body, getting ready for releasing the energy from the body. And we learned how to use them in a little bit of a different way in the crystals and palmistry class, which was the last one as well. So we learned how to use them in a slightly different way because you can use them on the lines, you can use them, on the lines, right? When you're doing that, up the fingers and things like that, for releasing energy. Now, a single terminated wand with a rounded end, like this. We have single termination, rounded end. And I think a lot of you might have, a few of you anyways, might have bought the Prenite with epidote wands that we had at one time. They're the same, single terminated with rounded end. And what you do with these is it has two uses. You use it like a single terminated wand, so it's directing the energy. As we learned above, it only goes in that one direction. But the rounded end, this is how we gather energy, like this. So if you were to see on your extraction tool, you've got the same thing. You get your body, oh, wow, it always feels so good.
Okay.
It's like, oh, at first. And then you use this end because it's like a half a sphere. And so spheres can do too. And you go like this and you gather the energy. And then you get ready to extract that energy. So that's what this wand can do. You've got two tools in one. We can direct energy and we can gather energy as well. That's the single terminated wand. And as we said, any double terminated is going to put the energy in both directions, sending and receiving. So it's really good if you do put it on your, like in a healing session. And again, it's also any single terminated wand also is going to take that energy that you've gathered and extract it, and you can put it in the portal as well. Now, laser wands. I love laser wands.
Yes, you do.
You do love them. They are, I've had this laser wand 20 years, maybe, something like that. This is my Corinto quartz that I bought about, 20 years ago. And I've never seen them since until we had them here last year.
Yep.
And we still have a couple
We still
left.
have one, I think.
One left?
Yeah.
And a laser wand, as I said, is wider at the bottom and thinner at the top. And again, I'll show you my big one right here. Wider at the bottom and tapering up to the top. And why we call them, I should do those, I forgot about those. Why we call them a laser wand is because the energy goes like this, and as it gets closer and closer to the tip, it's a smaller and smaller circle of energy. And then the tip emits the energy like a laser beam. So it's really good for cutting cords and ties. I love it for cutting cords and ties. It cuts them nice and clean as well, and that's a whole process too.
Mm-hmm.
If you're interested in learning how to cut cords and ties, you can go on our website and find at the top or in the list that says downloads. And in there you can download for free how to do cords and ties, cutting cords and ties. Because there is a whole process, and it's really a good one to follow, because a lot of people just cut them and then they leave it. But those cords can
reattach.
Yeah, so you have to burn them back in and stuff like that. So a laser wand.
Not physically. Like,
Not physically.
Don't take a match.
No, not physically. Some people like laser wands for what they call psychic surgery, which means that you can get that little laser beam of energy into deep places in the body. All you have to do is take it and point it at that area, and they call that psychic surgery. So they're putting the energy in there, the healing energy, and trying to break up maybe a block or stagnant energy that might be deep. But it can really pinpoint small little areas like that in the body to be worked on. And some laser wands, all the diamantinas are laser wands, all of them. Then there's the Corinto quartz, some Lemurians are, and even some Mongolian quartz are laser wands. Did I put, oh, here we have the rounded end ones. That's good. But these are my favorite. I haven't had time to do some, like I work with leather and beads and crystals and all that kind of stuff. So I used to do, and I haven't done them for a while, but crystals that were some of my favorites, I made little pouches for them. This guy's got a little red leather beaded pouch that sits on in my living room. There. Then we have the rounded ended wands. And it can be rounded terminations on both ends. This one's yellow calcite, and this one is a bloodstone right here. So you can use these on the body in crystal healing. But you can use them for other things too. These are really good for massage. You can get in larger knots and work them out, or little tiny ones and work them out, you know, in like that. Get in there, and these ones would be for bigger ones. It helps to get energy moving in the body. Now, the smaller rounded ended wands can be used to draw energy. You can, here's one of my little kyanite wands. I've actually got a smaller one now that I think at home. I just love these little wands.
Yeah.
Right? They're so cool. But what some people can do with these is they actually draw an energetic line around that blocked area. And then they go back and work on it. So they do the whole body, but when they come across stuff like that, they draw an energetic line. So then they intuitively go back to that area and work on them. They can also be used to draw Reiki symbols. If you're a Reiki person, I know Cheryl is. Mm-hmm. And you can use those to do that too. Does Denise? Have you been to her for reflexology? I have. I think Denise does. I think she used to use some crystals at. It's been a long time since I've been to her. But I'll have to ask her. I think Denise, if you've ever been here on a Wednesday, Denise works here on Wednesdays, and she's the person who makes all the sprays, the crystal essence sprays. I have a feeling she might use some crystals on the body.
Yeah, she knows her crystals. So
Oh,
yeah,
she sure does.
she sure does. Yeah.
When you're using wands for massage therapy, how do you recommend cleaning afterwards? Calcite should be rinsed in water. Calcite? All right, put it in water.
I think you're thinking of selenite. Lisa.
Selenite, yeah. Selenite can't be put in water. I use the rounded-ended wands when I do energy healing on the horses.
Oh,
Perfect.
perfect for that, Karen.
Absolutely perfect.
Diane Golday. Denise Simmons she works here on Wednesdays in the store, and she makes our crystal sprays, and she also does tarot, reads tarot, and
yeah, she
teaches tarot. And
yeah, she's
like
lovely.
That. Oh, she thought it was for all those ending in night. No.
Mm-mm. No, it depends on the crystal.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, Lisa. I don't know, Diane, if you've been here on a Wednesday or not. But Denise worked here quite a few years ago. She worked for me for 5 years, quite a few years ago. And then she kind of went out and was doing different things and getting more into the tarot and developing her sprays and things like that. And now she's come back to work for us, which we're very happy about.
Yes, we are.
And yeah, so if you're ever in on a Wednesday at all, that'll be Denise who works here.
Mm-hmm.
Then she's a really lovely person.
She's
very, very
nice.
lovely. Yeah.
Very nice.
She teaches Reiki as well.
Yeah, I don't know if she's teaching Reiki. She taught me level 1 and 2. I took my master's with one of our customers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what some of these smaller ones can do, is if you can draw energetic lines around blocks, or you can do the Reiki symbols or something like that. This little tiny, my little tiny wand. Excuse me. So that's what these can be used for. And they can look like this too. They can be chunky like that. That's an angel light one. I've got a couple of others here. And some of you bought some of this too. I think this is that green chalcedony. This one's more what I would call like earthy feeling. It's shaped differently. I don't know if they actually shaped it that way or if they just polished it in the shape that it was, but it fits really nice in the hand to be able to work with it. And this one, it was called Prairie Tanzanite, but it's not really a Tanzanite. I think it's some kind of jasper. But it had a really lovely energy, and it was nice and soft looking. So that's another one that can be used for massage or something like that. Yeah, the green, this is green chalcedony or mtorolite, mtorolite, mtorolite. It's not easy to get this one, but we did have some. We actually had 4. We might still.
I don't think we have
any of the rough ones.
We might have. We might.
We had 4 rough ones, but I'm not sure if we have any left or not. There. So those are the rounded-ended wands, and some of the things that you can do with them. So a lot of people use them for massage and reflexology, that sort of thing. Something where you're kind of massaging or getting in there and kind of doing that. You don't really want to do that with a pointed end, really, or that shred your hand.
Yeah. Ouch.
Then we have what are called twisted wands, and that would be what this is. A lot of selenite wands, they carve in a twist. This one is a red aura selenite, and we both got quite a few different ones. And they're very, very pretty. I chose this one just because it's nice and pretty and fiery, and, that sort of thing. And you can also get generators that are fashioned like a twisted flame like that. And what happens with these is you can put this on the block or the energy you're extracting, and it travels up that pathway. It's like it gives it a pathway to go up and out as well. So it can go up through the wand and it can go up through that pathway. So that's kind of one of the uses. The other one, I think it's more for gripping, easier to grip, I guess.
Yeah.
And to give it a little bit of character, that sort of thing. But we used to be able to get a wand. I don't know if you can, I think you can still get them, but it was a selenite wand, but it wasn't such a twist like this. It was more of a gentle twist. I don't think I've got anything like that. And at the end, it had like a fluorite cap on it, and the rest of it was fluorite or selenite. And those used to be really, really popular. And selenite is a stone of light, right? Light and putting light in the body and that sort of thing.
Karen,
so it would be more gentle. Yes, would be more gentle, for sure. I think that when you get something like that and it's not angled or sharp edges or anything like that, to me it is more gentle. It's
softer.
It's a softer, gentler energy.
Because
sure.
Sometimes you need to just get it out of there, but sometimes you need to take it slow.
Yeah. And it depends on the person, and it depends on you, because some people are very sensitive, right? Yeah. And you just don't want to go in with a ball buster.
Yep.
You want to be able to go
busting around here.
You want to be able to be nice and gentle. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially if you're doing animals or children.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Good point. Absolutely. You want to be gentle, and healing and letting some old stuff go isn't always easy to do, right?
No, it's not.
So it's you want to be as gentle as possible. And there's some people that will just say, oh, just hit me with it. Okay.
Yeah.
But
are you sure?
Yes. Are you sure? In that case, use Moldavite.
Yeah.
But anyway, then we've got, before I move on, we have, this is a really cool wand. This is actually kyanite, and it's got like a ruby sapphire rounded tip that they've polished. The rest of it is just natural right here. And when I was doing the radio show this morning, my throat started to sound funny. So I just picked it up and I held it while I was talking, and it started to get better. So, which is, of course, what ruby does, and sapphire will probably do some of the same thing as well. But it just feels really nice in the hand. You want to, don't you?
Yeah, I do. And I'll often, like, my sunstone wand is a double rounded. But I'll often hold that in my hand if I've got a sunburn. I'll even take and rub it on my sunburn and hold it in my hand. Takes the sting out.
Yeah. So there's lots of different things that crystals could do, and it just made me that you like wands.
Yeah.
And for some people, they just like to hold them. Sometimes just holding them is very comforting. And if you're sitting watching TV or even just talking to somebody or something like that, holding one in your hand is it's almost like a bit of security, and it just makes you feel good. Yeah. It really does.
It gives them something to do too.
Yeah. Yeah. And whenever you're doing a crystal healing session, you can always get the person to hold something in each hand, which is actually really good because it gives them something to do and something to hold, and it then imparts that crystal energy into their body, and it's very comforting.
Yeah, that's where the rounded wands are nice.
Are good. Yeah. or if you can get some of the more ergonomic,
Yeah.
earthy kind of ones. I love those ones. You hardly get them anymore. I used to be able to get some really nice ones in Crystal Praise, but I haven't seen any for a long time. But they feel really good in the hand. They're a little more earthy feeling as well. So, where are we here?
So,
Multi-crystal wands. Do we have one handy that they have there too?
Yep.
If you don't mind, Cheryl. Thanks. I meant to get it before. So multi-crystal wands is that sometimes wands are made by cutting them and cutting other crystals and putting them in the wand. So that's like this little one right here. Cheryl's just gotten another one. This was in your tool one for the extractor tool right here. It has quartz on both ends, and then it has the chakra crystals in the middle right there. So how a wand like that works is, of course, the energy is always going this way in this wand. So it's pushing up here, and then it's taking every one of those crystals, the energy of that, and pushing it all the way up and through here. So a really good chakra wand if you wanted to use it for that. It's good for a balancer, because of course all of these crystals are going to help balance the chakras. Now, I just realized Lisa asked about cleansing. I'll get to that in a minute, Lisa. I will answer your question because we didn't answer it before. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Something just tweaked about, cleansing crystals. And quartz also enhances the energy of other crystals. It magnifies them and enhances them. So it's doing that for all of these crystals right here, or whatever crystals are either attached to it, like this, right there, or we have this little one right here. We've got citrine in here, we've got quartz here and here. So it's amplifying the energy of citrine. So whatever crystals are put with these kind of wands, with quartz, that's what it will do. So it would be a very powerful chakra cleansing wand, using it on yourself, even just like that, doing that sort of thing, and or even laying on and getting the energy moving right there.
Can I answer Lisa's question first? Or?
Yeah, I'll answer.
Then we won't forget.
Because I think I put it back here about cleansing, but I didn't actually put in how to cleanse. So let's answer Lisa's question right now. She asked about cleansing crystals. How do you do that? There are several different ways of cleansing a crystal. And some people smudge them. They just light sage, and then they let the smoke go up and down and all around the crystal. So that is one way. Another way, some people run it under water, only I wouldn't use hot water.
No.
Some people will put it in a crystal or Tibetan singing bowl and play the bowl. It gives it a little bit of a tuning as well.
Sound.
And some people meditate with it and ask, white light or whatever to come and cleanse it and release the energy from the crystal. If you want a really deep cleanse, I always suggest using pennyroyal flower essence. And you can get a big bowl and you can do several crystals in it at a time. And you just put maybe 5 to 7 drops in a bowl, maybe that size, like that. And you leave your crystals there for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then you take them out, and I always place them on a tea towel and sort of like in a little Grid.
You should make some little mandalas.
That's right. And let them dry off themselves. They come out just bright and sparkly and happy. You can notice the difference. You really can notice
And you
the
can
difference.
really feel the difference.
And why do we want to cleanse crystals? Because crystals absorb energy. And when they absorb energy, they're absorbing what we are releasing. So we don't want to then use that crystal again in case it's going to impart back into us. And then it becomes like a vicious circle. It's like you're on a never-ending treadmill, like a mouse, right? And then and they're happier as well, because then they're clear, and then they can help you again over and over. Now, some people go, well, how do you know when you need to cleanse your crystal? If you're working with crystals, we have it in the store. Yeah, we sell it here in the store. I'll tell you the story of it in just a sec. Well, I'll tell you that, and then I'll go back to this. Is the pennyroyal flower essence I buy from the place Lumi Island, I think it's called, just off the coast of Washington State. And she does lots of, many different types of flower essences. And what they do is they put crystals out in the fields with their flowers. And then when they distill the flowers and into the essence, they put crystals around the bottles before they send them out. And so they're already attuned to the energy of crystals. And so it works really, really well. And so some people have also asked, well, how do you know when to cleanse your crystals? So if you've been working with them, you need to cleanse your crystals. For instance, in the store here, we don't put them in pennyroyal unless they become very sticky feeling. Then we'll do that. But we smudge in the morning with sweetgrass for bringing in positive energy every day. And at night, we smudge with sage to release and clear. So we've actually been told that our crystals are some of the clearest they've come across in different stores and stuff. But that's one of the reasons why, is that. And the other, we do really honor them. And if you come in the store and you look around and you see the displays, that's the display queen.
Oh, yeah.
Display goddess. Cheryl does almost all the displays in here. I don't know how that happened, but you really took it on well.
Just needed to be done.
Yeah. She comes up with some really creative ideas, and it's taking crystals and showing them off as well as we can, their personalities and who they are, and highlighting each one as much as we can. So I mentioned sticky. Sometimes crystals, if you pick one up and it feels like it's sticky, you go, oh my God, this is all really, really kind of icky. And it feels like a little kid came along with candy sticky hands and put them all over the crystal. That's what it feels like. Mm-hmm. What that is energy. It's being collected, and that's all it can do. It's now starting to ooze out.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
So then it has to be cleansed, and doing a really deep cleanse will make it very, very happy with that. So that's how you can cleanse them. I find that when it's really sticky like that, doing any of the other forms of cleansing doesn't really work.
Yeah.
You can put it under water, but it's not going to do a deep cleanse unless you do something like the pennyroyal.
It's like, it reminds me of when you wash your windows and they're squeaky clean, like really when you actually use vinegar and water.
And you go, oh my God, I can see out that
Yeah.
window.
And that same feeling that if your windows are really clean, you put your finger on them, they're so smooth. The crystals are the same way.
Right.
They're so smooth.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's really, really important to cleanse your crystals and cleanse your jewelry. Because
they
you know
are
what?
crystals.
We're wearing them, right? They are crystals and they do the same function, even though they're just, well, I'm not going to say just jewelry, but even though they are in the form of jewelry.
You can put them in a geode too, I think.
Oh, yes, I forgot that. You can put them in a geode. As a matter of fact, to tell you a story, I had somebody many years ago in the store here, and she was visiting from, she and her boyfriend at the time were visiting from Nova Scotia. And she comes in and his knee went out. So she grabs off the shelf a selenite wand and starts working with it. Well, and I sort of went, like, and she kind of looked at me and went, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Well, no, it's not your crystal and you didn't ask permission. And after she finished, that selenite was gray. And I put it inside of a geode. It's not one behind this, is there? A big amethyst geode. And I had to leave that in there for at least 3 weeks for it to clear, to finally clear. So that's a little extreme, but usually you can put crystals on a cluster or in a geode. So a quartz cluster or an amethyst cluster, or in a quartz or an amethyst geode, but you need to leave them there for a minimum of 24 hours.
Yeah.
But
48 it's a great option for those that can't go underwater.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like selenite, right? And selenite still needs cleansing.
Yeah.
A lot of people say it doesn't, but it does.
Yeah.
Because that proves it right there. Because that was gray. And I've had another incident where somebody picked up a sphere of selenite again and held it up to himself, right? And afterwards, I went and I looked at it and it was gray in the middle and you could almost see or feel something in there. So I had to take it and cleanse it. And in a store, you're taking your product away from other people buying it. So it's another reason why we smudge all the time too.
Question too.
Could you use a single terminated wand and a piece of a shungite and use them in a protection grid around the property? Sure, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I say to people to grid a room or grid your property, some of the best things to do is to take it's got terminations on the end. Is to take a single terminated wand like this and place a piece of shungite in front of it, pointed towards, if it's inside the center of the room, or if it's outside, towards the house. And that pushes the energy of the shungite towards where you want protection. It protects the whole space like that. And that's how you would do that. So a piece of quartz with a piece of shungite in front of it, and off it goes like that. For sure, Karen. I put crystals in my pyramid to clear. Works really. Yeah, a copper pyramid. Well, is it a copper pyramid or what kind of pyramid? I wouldn't put it in a copper pyramid to cleanse.
No, because copper energizes.
Yes, copper energizes. Excuse me. Yeah, so Angela, what kind of pyramid are you putting it in? I know there's those little glass ones, right? And they have the door put down, you can put them in. That is a cleansing, for sure. I'd like to find out what kind of pyramid it is. Yeah, and we had those. I can't get them anymore. I don't think they sell them anymore.
Yes, it's a copper one.
Oh yeah, I feel a shopping expedition coming on. Well, we're having a live this week. The one thing, Angela, about copper is that it's a conductor of energy. That's its purpose. It conducts energy, and it will conduct the energy of your crystal. But if you've got a crystal that is not cleansed, it's going to also conduct what it has picked up. So I would just be careful about that. I might try to cleanse it first, then put it in there.
Because
Oh, cool.
it would energize them. Oh, that's nice to know.
Yeah. Hubby builds them. Yeah. And copper pyramids are awesome because if you look right behind Cheryl right here, right there, behind there, that's our charging station. One of the things we use there is a copper pyramid to help charge and energize crystals as well. We do that for the lives. Anybody who buys anything from our live sales, which we have every other week, every other Thursday. We put them on there, and they get really nice energized crystals when they get them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I placed my crystals on the top of it and cleared it. Oh, on the top of it. Well, that's interesting.
I have to experiment with that.
Yeah, let's experiment with it for sure. See, this is why we want people to say stuff, because let's try it and see what happens.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, for sure. Now, the next one is wood and art wands. You pick one and I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
These ones are mine. This hangs in my living room. This is a goddess wand. I used to make these and sell them in the store. I was thinking the other day I should make some more. So it's got a goddess here, and she's got crystals on her belly and heart, and then there's this one there's a little angel up there, and then it's got fur, and down at the bottom is a big huge piece or slab of fluorite that I actually found in Halifax, Bedford to be exact. And they're really big. You can still use this. You could use this for a talking stick in a circle if you wanted, which is sort of how they work. It could be used in a healing space, depending on what crystals. And thank you, Angela. How do you tell if the crystals are cleared or charged? For me, it's a look.
Yeah,
it's a sparkly look, and it's feel.
Yeah, and charged. You can feel the energy. You can feel the energy.
Yeah, I have some other ones, but this is the only goddess wand I kept for myself. I made quite a few, and there was one I really, really liked. It was made with a big piece of white coral and yellow leather and white fur with a goddess on the top. And I thought, if that doesn't sell, it's going to my house. And not darn, but a lady came in and said, I'm moving to Nova Scotia and we're opening up a bed and breakfast. That would be perfect in there. So the Nova Scotia connection is interesting.
Yeah, it is.
But so that's called a goddess wand. And I put a little thing on the back here to hang it on the wall. So, and you can see actually the leather is really faded, because this used to be a really nice green, but it's a little more of a gray green now. Thanks, Cheryl.
You're welcome.
So those are things that you can hang in a healing space or something like that, because it's going to impart the energy of the crystals. And the stalk or shaft of it is copper pipe. So it is enhancing and energizing and conducting the energy of the crystals and what it touches. So not only the crystals, but it's also doing it for the feathers and also for the fur as well. And this was another one I made. It's a smaller one. I've got another one at home that's a turtle. But this one's an ammonite. You can see right here. An ammonite. It hangs right beside that one, and then the turtle one is on the other side of that one. So I have 3 in one. Cheryl, when I brought it in, she goes, oh, or when she saw it in the trunk of my car, and I said, well, I would have thought you'd seen that because it's hanging in my living room. She goes, well, I've seen this one before. And I said, yeah, well, that one was hanging right next
Yeah,
to it.
I never noticed the other one. Obviously, that one at the time was what was calling me.
Yeah.
And then that happens.
Yeah. And these, you can still use that for a healing wand too, because we've got a terminated point at the top here. Would you consider a class? I've had lots of people ask me that
I
before.
love it.
I know it's so hard to get all the elements right for that many people. And I don't know.
Maybe we'll think about
We'll
it.
see. But see, you can still use the energy of that point. This is actually a little generator, so it's generating energy as well. And in the Ammonite, we're also going to learn about this kind of thing in the alchemy class, because this used to be an Ammonite and now it's just filled with calcite right there. So transmutable, transformable. But it sits there, and I really liked it, so I couldn't sell it. I don't know why I really liked it, but I did. And I didn't sell it. So it's hanging on my wall. And then things such as smudge feathers. Those are wands too. This is one of my lapis ones. I've got another one. This one I ended up beating right here. But it's got bear and wolf on it and other, you can see other feathers and stuff. And I made this so it doesn't, I guess. Maybe the table's crooked. Anyways, it should stand up. But with something like this, you're not only doing the smudging, but you can use this in a healing session where you run the energy down the body, especially after the session. You run it down from the head to the feet, and it just smooths the person's aura and energy out, and it just makes them feel so, so good. Mm-hmm. But some people will use it to whisk energy away as well. Whenever they're doing someone blocking, they'll whisk it away like that too, with something like that. So multi-purpose. And thanks. And then this is the last one I'm going to show you. This one is a shaman feather. This is what I call it, a shaman feather, because it's also a rattle. So there's crystals in, there's not a crystal on the end, but there's crystals inside the handle. And I really like these kind because they're different. But it's one where, again, you can use to whisk the energy away, that sort of thing. And at the end of a session, what shamans do is they take a rattle and they rattle all down the back like that. And that sets the energy, just like doing this. Mm-hmm. So it sets the energy of the session for the person, and helps them. But you can use it as a smudge wand too. There was somebody, she used to buy a few of them. This was quite a few years ago. She used to use them for energy and doing lots of energy work with it. There was somebody, who was that? There was somebody, I can't remember where she was from. She wasn't from Calgary, but she used to like hit. I thought, oh, I don't like that. Sorry. But it's yours now. So
I'll tap with it sometimes.
Yes. Tapping is fine, but she would like,
break the feathers that
exactly. I've had to do repair work for her because of that.
Because of that, yeah.
Yeah. But like tapping,
yeah,
or stuff like that is fine. But I just don't. This one's got actually coyote, buffalo, and bear on it. That one, and it's got owl because I found it an owl and was able to harvest the feathers. But it's not. That's against the law to sell it. So those are the different types of wands that you can come up. And I'm sure there's other ones as well, but you can come across. There are some that people use where they put that clay stuff where you heat it, and there's ones where you have that silver clay, or I'm not sure how you use that, but they use them that way as well, to make sort of arty looking ones that are very energetic and still really work well too. Just got one of your smudge ones. Oh, thanks, Carol. Thank you. Okay, now how do we work with those wands? Right? So when you're working with a wand and you're working with the person's energy or tissue, you're moving and manipulating not only skin, but muscle and tissue and energy. And so this type of work needs to be taken seriously because it's a form of helping somebody or yourself to release stagnant, blocked energy, pain, whatever from the body. So you want to make sure that your client or yourself are ready for this kind of work so that you're okay with releasing it and dealing with anything that may come up because of it. Okay. And if you're doing something like this with a client, what you want to do is make sure they know that if some things do come up, that you're open and you're there for support afterwards. Because I've been in a situation where I did something with someone. Well, they did it. Me.
Yeah, healing. Yeah.
I was the client.
Yeah.
And that was it. They just left it. And luckily, I knew what I was doing and I sought out help. But there was nothing saying, come back if anything happens, if you need any follow-up, if you need any support, or you need to talk about anything or anything like that. That is just as important as the session itself.
Yeah.
To do.
And it never hurts to do a follow-up in a day
Absolutely.
or two. Just say,
Yeah, say, how are you doing?
Especially if it was a powerful one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's so similar to Reiki. So you can when you're working with a wand, you can pull energy from the universe and use yourself as the vessel and then have it go through the wand. But the wand is going to do it anyway. So, but you can use work with wands or crystals and energy at the same time. Reiki at the same time, because I'm sure Cheryl does.
I do
that all the time.
Crystals and Reiki all the time.
Yeah, they're very complementary, actually. They work really well together. Excuse me. But your intention for that healing is also key. So it's always good if you have a practice, or if you're wanting to do a practice, or you're wanting to work with someone or on someone, that you talk to them first and determine between the two of you what it is they want to work on. What is their goal and how do we get there? So sometimes the goal takes different steps along the way. So it may take more than one session to get to their goal. But if you were to jump all those, that's like, it doesn't, they don't learn and they don't fully release. They don't fully understand either. And then they just go back to doing the same thing. But it can be like putting too much energy to a light bulb and having it blow up. So if somebody says, well, I want to get from here to here and I don't care about everything in between. Well, it doesn't work that way. Healing just doesn't work that way. There is a process to go through, and it's important that you go through all those steps, or that person doesn't learn, or you've missed something, you've left something behind, or you don't understand something, but you want to know the underlying source of things as well. So intention is really important. So the way you hold your wand is a personal preference. You might be intuitively guided to hold it. The one thing is that if you have a double terminated wand, do not hold it like that, and work on somebody, because that's going to come right into you. And that's not what your intention really is. You don't really want that. To do that. So you have to hold it in a way that both ends are free. So that you're not putting it into somebody else, you're not putting it into yourself, or you're not putting it back into that person. So holding it is important. But you might be guided on how to hold it. If you get bigger wands like this, it's harder to hold it like this unless you're doing other kind of work. There's double-fisted work. So I'm going to show you in a sec. But it's really important not to cover up that end. And, I've done that already. So if you haven't used a wand for healing before, practice on yourself first and concentrate on asking Spirit, the energy of the crystal even, to bring through that energy that you need or that your intention is for as well. But you can also go and get a wand, or use a wand that has that energy, or again that quartz wand, and you use it with the intention of that energy. Now I've got some examples here that one of the things that you can do with a wand is you can scan the body of somebody. You could do it to yourself. It's easier to do it to somebody else. I'll be my guinea pig. You'll be my guinea pig? I'll be your guinea pig. I meant to get a selenite wand. Do we have a selenite wand? Just a plain white selenite wand?
No, just a spiral one.
That's okay. Okay. Thank you. So you can use it to scan the body. I'm going to show you how to do that with Cheryl. And what you're doing with that is finding out where there might be blocks or work to be done or released. Oh, that's weird. I guess that wasn't for you. So this is best standing up, but you can still do it with a client who is sitting down or lying down. It's just a little harder. You have to hold your arm up. So you'd want to choose a starting point, and you begin to slowly move the wand. And you can use 2 different wands if you want. Yeah, this way. You would use, I've got black tourmaline and selenite here. And what we do, if you use 2 wands like this, a black and a white, is you are using this one to extract, and you're using this one to put light back into that area that was extracted. So that's why you would use 2 like that. And actually Karen McPhee does that. She'll stand with somebody and she'll go over it, and then she does, and extracts it and then puts the energy back in like that. But you can take any wand you want. And I'm going to rip my skin off the chair.
It's a very warm day today. We got short shorts on here today.
I know, and I shouldn't really, but anyway. So what you do with the person is you hold that wand lightly in your hand. And you could use your left or your right hand, I think, for that. I don't think it really matters, because all you're doing is scanning like this. Slowly go down the body. And if you feel, say, there was something around the throat chakra, which there is.
Surprise!
There is, that's why I stopped there, is you can feel it being almost a little bit sluggish. Or it's sort of a little bit harder to move on. So you can make note of that to go back and work on later. And then you can scan down the body like this. And again, if you feel something somewhere that feels like it's almost like just a little bit of a resistance, it doesn't have to be much. It might just be a little bit of a resistance. I think it's just your throat. Mm-hmm. There. And then you would go back and you would talk to the person about it and say, this is what I found. I found that your throat, I think has a little bit of a block and needs to be worked on. And if they say, yeah, go ahead and do that, you can do some extracting. And that would be, you could use your extraction needle. You could just do laying on, like you could do a wand right here, or another throat stone and let them sit there with that as well. You can use where you sort of gather energy and pull it off like that as well. So there's different ways that you can do it. And then when the person leaves, you could actually give them a little crystal to take with them so that they can work on that chakra as well. So you might want to have a little dish of some tumbled stones. And you could pick up one like turquoise or angel light, something, a nice blue. Blue lace agate is a nice one for the throat as well. Blue topaz is really good. Kyanite is another one that's very good. So you could do things like that to help extract energy. You can use, I would use maybe quartz to extract and pull it out. And again, you can use that end if you wanted to pull it out, but you wouldn't press really hard. That's why I say sometimes taking a small stone and just laying it there and having them lay down is really good. What would you do?
I would have them laying down, because then you can lay stones easily, and then you can, depending what, if you're using just crystals, then you can actually use your wand and you can connect all of them.
Yeah, because afterwards it would be really good to do that too, is to connect them all. And I know one way of connecting is you take a double terminated wand, and if you're releasing energy, you could take it from the top and go all the way down to the feet and release like that if they're lying down like that as well too. So those are a few different ways that you can work with scanning the body with a wand. And most wands will actually work doing that. I like the terminated ones, pointy ones.
Yeah, because you can get right to the point.
Exactly. Yeah. When you were doing yourself, same idea. Yes, absolutely. You just do it like this, but hold it loosely if you can, just so that you can get
feel
that
the
resistance, and then all the way down. But before you do any releasing, you want to talk to your client and say, this is what I found, or even to yourself and say, okay, well, maybe that was a bit of a surprise.
Or not.
Or not. Is you want to talk to them, or you want to ask yourself, okay, do I want to do this right now? Am I ready for it? Is there, because there are some people who have been through lots of trauma in their life. And so there's lots of things that might be blocked. And they might not be ready to let a certain area go. They might be ready for one area, but they certainly wouldn't be ready for everything. And you could talk that over with them and find out what they're willing to do, and work out a plan of how to do that as well.
Yes.
I think that's a really good idea to do that. Now, when you are extracting energy, you want to make sure that they know that you're going to ask them what you want to fill that energy with. So if you take a block or something like that away, you've left a hole. So you want to be able to fill that with something so that it just doesn't get filled up with negative energy. So it could be light, love, prosperity, health, anything that's positive energy. And then this is a really good one to be able to do that with, this or even quartz, because it fills it with love and light, right? Already. Ooh, I can feel that. It's really good. So that you can fill that back in as they're talking. You can do that, and so they can tell you what they want to fill it with. So that's how you kind of work with wands and scanning the body. and then trying to extract some of that energy. And you can use some of the energy extraction things that we have learned over the past few months to be able to extract that energy and then put it back in again. Now, you can do it when you work with them together like this, because I know somebody who does that, is that you can scan the body, and then as soon as you find the area that is, you can ask them, do you want me to take it out? And if they say yes, you start doing it right away. And okay, now what do you want to fill it with? So you can do it right then and there. That's why you would use 2 like that. So that is one example. Another example, excuse me.
You need to work on that.
I know I do. I was working on it this morning too. When you're doing chakra work, using a quartz wand with the chakra symbols like that, or the little extractor needle like that, that can work really well. So it's a simple way of rejuvenating a chakra, is to hold your wand a few inches away from that chakra or the area and move the wand in a spiral motion, so kind of in a circular motion really. And chakras actually spin in different directions, but it's okay. You don't have to know which one spins this way or which one spins that way. It's still going to work. So you can actually take and do this around a chakra, and if you wanted to, you could take something that whisks the energy away as well, or you take this and pull it out. But then remember to put that energy back in. Yeah. Good positive energy.
The universe always fills up voids, so don't
That's
leave
right.
one.
Don't leave a vacuum or a void or a big hole. And that's one of the things that I talk about in cutting cords and ties, is how to do that. Now, another example would be working on areas that are painful or that you intuitively feel need help. So double terminated crystals, excuse me, work really well for that. I'm going to use the logo because it's easier to see. These are beneficial to aid the release of pain, not aid pain, but to release pain. They assist in the movement of stagnant energy, because we know, especially in a Vogel, it pulls it out and away it goes, right? So it brings healing energy in and transmutes the energy, or transmits the energy from each end of the wand. So with a Vogel, we do it this way. That I was like
Shooter and
cooter. Yes, shooters and cooters. I like to work with the Vogel mostly for that sort of thing. Just because it's already stated which is the female end and which is the male end. But you could say, I want to work with this, and I'm going to use this end because it's got a little mark there, so I know that that's going to be the female end for me, and this will be the male end. And you can actually use that with intention that way. Okay. So you ask your body to gently release the pain or the energy, and you hold that intention for releasing and then for healing it as well. So you place your wand over the area with pain. So maybe you have some here like this. You gently move it over the area until you feel a lessening of the pain or a releasing of that pain or whatever it is, blocked energy or whatever. Actually, for me, it's getting really hot. Okay, I can feel hot from the energy of the wand. So double terminated quartz would work really well. I do have one here. So you could use it like that. And the energy can flow into the painful area and back out through the wand. So you can get the energy moving in here and then come back out through there. So that's kind of how you would work with a double terminated wand. for releasing energy. The extractor needle, we all know, works really, really well, stimulating the meridians and the energy in the body by going around and pricking your hand like that. It's phenomenal with doing that. And then you use this to gather the energy. And then you use a double terminated wand or the Vogel to release the energy and back out into a portal like that. So that works really well. You can actually use this on your head. I know. Or the bottom of your feet, but I prefer my hand.
Me too.
The feet, yeah, no thanks. My feet are really ticklish and that doesn't work.
It doesn't work so well.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. I might end up kicking somebody in the face or something. So you ask your body then during this process to gently release the block or the pain. And then it's like you're giving yourself permission to let that go. And then you can release it. And then you want to fill it up again with something positive, like love, light, health, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever.
Calm. Serenity.
Yeah. But when you're releasing energy, you end up doing this. And say it was the back of your neck, you would just gather that energy up and take it away. And you do it. You keep doing it until you feel some release going there. And it might be an exercise that you might have to do more than once to get rid of all of it.
I don't know what she's talking about. Look on my face was hilarious.
And you're doing yourself saying, So I put down another example, a fourth example. So some people, and I talked about this already, some people like to just sit and hold a wand in your hand because it feels really comforting. If you have one, well, you've got your selenite wand. Sometimes a little chunkier wand might feel better, but pick one up and just sit with it for a minute and it just feels so calming and it feels really, really good. I really like this one. This is a piece of citrine, which is one of my go-tos. And it's been polished all over, so there's no jagged edges or sharp edges, and it just feels really good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh, maybe I'll make it into a feather, right? Sell it, and I just thought, I'm not sure if I can let that go.
I'm not ready to let that go. I like this one because it fits so nice and it's not big and bulky. Yeah.
So again, you can hold a wand while you're sitting watching TV, talking to friends or family. You can even have it with you if you're working on a computer and just pick it up every once in a while. In that case, I would use a shungite wand or even a fluorite wand because that helps take some of that EMF away as well.
Like tourmaline would work too. Black
tourmaline, yes. But remember to always cleanse your crystals, and we did go over that. What I can do is, I think it was in the first class that I listed everything out for cleansing crystals and stuff. If you want that list, let me know, and I will copy it and send it to you. Different ways of cleansing your crystals. Sometimes having it in front of you, and I meant to do that. Actually, I meant to do that in here, and I forgot all about it, so I apologize for that. But you can, yes, you did.
Mm-hmm.
I put it in the first class.
You got one there for memory.
Yeah, there are ones for memory. Maybe I need one.
Well,
and I know so do you. Times.
Yeah, I need them lots.
But I will, if people want that, you know what I'll do? I'll send it to all of you. How's that? And if you don't want it, you can just delete the email.
That's a good idea.
I'll send it to all of you. I may not get to it tonight, but I will do it tomorrow and send that on to you. Because, sometimes having it right in front of you, it's easier rather than going on the memory.
Yeah.
Until you get used to cleansing your crystals. Okay. And crystals don't have to be actually physically used to need cleansing. Because placing in your space, then what they do, they're still working. Even if you're not actually physically touching them, they are absorbing the energy in your space. So they still need cleansing every so often, the ones that you've just got placed around your home that you don't actually physically work with. Okay. Yeah. They just don't need cleansing as often, but it's a good idea to go up and feel them and see how they actually feel. If they're a little bit sticky, you go, oh, I need to cleanse that.
Yeah.
It's picked up enough stuff and now it's starting to ooze it back into the environment.
Yeah.
So we don't want that.
No.
Actually. So crystal wands, excellent tool to work with and have in your healing toolkit. And once you start using them, you may find that they will be one of your go-to tools, right?
Another thing I use the wand for is opening up
chakras
and then closing them again.
Yeah.
So on for that.
Yeah, and if you're using that like Cheryl does, you opening is clockwise, closing is counterclockwise, just like a jar, lid on a jar. And some people will use their hand like that. I do like the fact of a crystal.
Yeah.
Doing it. I think it's
Yeah.
Nice. You can even use something like that.
Yeah.
Because that's also got the alchemy stuff on it. Let's put a lot of that in there. So that kind of in a nutshell, I guess, is how to use wands. And I'm sure that you may find your own way of working with them and using them. And it would be great if you did to come back and tell us what you did. Yeah. And if you have any other questions, you can certainly type them out right now. We can answer them. But as you maybe do that, I just remind you again of the classes. The next 3 classes are now up and live on the website. And if you're interested in them, and the same as before, they're $66 each, and then the tools are optional to buy. You don't have to buy the tools. But if you want all 3 of the next classes, then you get a 10% discount. It's $178.20, I believe is what it is. There. And we're waiting for the first tool to come in, and 1 tool on the second class, the alchemy class. Mm-hmm. So the first class again is on the key to, what did I call it?
Transformational energy.
The key to transforming energy. And then the August class is going to be crystals and alchemy. That one's, I'm really excited about that one. I think
me
that's
too.
Going to be great.
That's going to be fun.
And then
They're all going to be good.
Yeah. The class in September is included crystals. So crystals that have other minerals in them that grew that way. So we're going to talk about that and what the importance is there. Mm-hmm. And maybe understanding them a little bit better too. So I want to thank everybody for coming, and I hope these were all good people. Mm-hmm. I never know if it's really informative or not. I don't know. Did I give them enough?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you enjoyed it, and I will get that list out for how to cleanse crystals tomorrow to you. Unless I get time tonight, but I've got another meeting I have to go to after. So it's not a fun one. This is a fun one.
I'm going to another one, but it's a fun one. I get to drink wine.
Oh, well, maybe I might drink wine on the side. It's a condo board meeting, so woo! Well, I never said I'd be on the condo board. So anyways, thanks for coming tonight. And if we don't see you in the store, maybe we'll see you on a live. And maybe we'll see you at the next class too. So, and again, remember, if you have any other questions, something pops up or anything like that, don't hesitate to contact us, okay?
Yeah, let us know how working with wands goes for you.
Yes,
Yes,
and I
we'd
will
love to hear
send
about it.
you the link to this class so that you can come back and watch it whenever you want, as well, as many times as you want. Okay? Thank you.
Thanks.
Crystal
Bye.
blessings, and have a great evening. Bye.